Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of what is it? The Big Picture here on the Uwe
Yeah,
Boll Podcast Network. I'm here with Dr. Uwe Boll. My name is Gary Otto. Welcome, my friend. We have been talking about a lot behind the scenes,
yeah.
and I would like you to go over your frustration with what's happening with the motion. Like you said to me that the future is kind of walled off. We can't get a streaming deal. Explain this to me.
Okay. I mean, what we have is uh, the film industry shrinks down to a few streamers, basically, who also indirectly control the major studios, right? During 20 years ago, there was a real theatrical window, there was a real DVD rental and sell-through window, and Blu-rays and so on. And then the streamers came and they bought their way into the system, licensing a lot of movies, then starting producing their own movies, then recognizing, okay, we swallow up the studios with the libraries, and then we basically have it all under control. And that's the problem now, right? So, because when Disney swallowed Fox and then Amazon swallowed MGM, like you have this kind of everything shrinks together to five, six different distributors who then also control the, let's say, the medium-sized companies are also in a way completely dependent on what they pay them for the streaming rights. So, and I think that's what we have now. Only to finish that thought is that they don't pay fair to film producers, independent film producers, people they like sell movies to them, but they independently produce them. They're getting very unfairly paid. And when you see also, for example, on Amazon Prime, like 5 years ago, if somebody watched you on Prime for free, you got like whatever per view, let's say 20 cents. Now you get 5 cents per view. So they on purpose also make it harder to get money back. And that overall destroys the film industry, because that was the last voice message you put on, that was dead on, that it's a closed shop. You cannot even reach these people. You can only reach these people through like people that are connected to them, like agents
Yeah,
or producers. They have already a deal, or they made
like you have to sign up for one of those agencies and give them a huge sum of money, and they protect those contacts, and you cannot get through and communicate with these companies or pitch them anything because they'll think of it as unsolicited unless it's from this agency that they have an exclusive deal with, and it's bullshit, and it's making it harder for us, the actual independent people, to break through this wall. It's
yeah,
fucking ridiculous.
yeah,
And
because I mean,
I was trying to talk to you. What I don't understand is I was trying to come up with ideas, strategize of how we can make money easily and quickly off of lower platforms. And you said Seed, somebody offered you $5,000. Explain that to me.
no, there is a guy who's shooting Seed 3 right now, and he paid me $5,000 license fee for it. So, and he makes a very cheap Seed 3, because look, there's no point to it. I would never do another Seed movie, period. Seed 2 was already crap. And whatever he's doing now, I don't care. So, because it's not like my heart is in Seed as an example, right?
I
So,
just thought it would make quick money so we could finance other movies. People like this
oh,
crap. You put it on Amazon.
Seed was not a big success or something. It's different if you make Cabin Fever new, or Seed, or Halloween. It's just not there. And what was there was House of the Dead, but they decided to do it with Paul Anderson, who makes one shit movie after the other since 20 years, basically.
Yeah, remember that you contacted Sega. They said they went with someone else. They wouldn't say who, and then suddenly we find out in the news that it's Paul Anderson. It was a I was that sucks. That
Yeah, but
sucks.
that shows also how they like value talent wrong, right? I think Paul Anderson, who made one horror movie after the other, or video game based movie after the other, with Resident Evil and so on, Monster Hunter. It's always the same with Mila Jovovich, whatever. So now he will do House of the Dead. I only hope, and I wrote it to Lionsgate, please re-release my House of the Dead at the same time, even if it's only like a few screens or whatever, or on the streaming, that it's right there. Because I think with House of the Dead, number one, we could make a direct comparison to the new one, and B, we could make some money. So, and but coming back to the one thing with the agencies, I mean, think about First Shift right now is since 20 weeks. We're number 6 today on Paramount Plus. So since 20 weeks, we are in the top 10 at Paramount Plus with First Shift. I never talked to anybody at Paramount Plus. The deal was done with Quiver, the US distributor of First Shift 1. Then I told Quiver, please talk to them about possible First Shift 2 and 3. Then I talked to Bonded and said to Bonded, a different company, they said they have contacts to Paramount Plus. So they contacted them. They said, yeah, we are interested. It's all in the limbo right now. Nobody knows what's happening. But is it not a shame that Paramount Plus is not talking to me? Right? So because they should talk to me, we could make the deal and that's it. Without all these people in the middle, because A, I can sell First Shift 10 times better. I wrote First Shift, I directed and produced it, and I own it. So why is the gate to direct communication, and I'm not only talking about Paramount Plus, I talk about all the streamers, closed for me, and only some salespeople or whatever are in between, who can, of course, not be so convincing like me selling a product, you know? And that's also this kind of gatekeepers are not so good for independent filmmakers, because they're indirectly blocking the door, and then they do a half-ass pitch with way less knowledge as me, and you know, and then they maybe don't get the deal because they were not convincing enough. And that's the thing. It's like this kind of like and then you read in the news trades like, oh, that film got, or that TV show got the second season greenlit after one episode was aired from the first season. You have that over and over, where they don't even wait to see how something performs for real and then make the decision. And I mean, 20 weeks in the top 10, sorry, but if that is not a mega hit, I don't know what a fucking mega hit is, right? So because, for example, I'm watching Horizon right now from Kevin Costner on Amazon Prime in Germany. They loaded it up last week and it's not in the top 10 anymore. Kevin Costner's Horizon. After 1 week, it's out of the top 10 at Prime. So, and that's the thing. It's like we're since 20 weeks in the top 10, and I don't get it. So but this, let's say it this way, is
So it's like lost in the algorithm or something. Somebody's got to notice this.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes. Somebody should have the job to notice that, and fails at his job, right? That's the reality. Because I mean, if you are in a capitalism, everybody said we're in a capitalism. Okay, we're a capitalistic world. But in a capitalistic world, as you just said, somebody has to flag the film as a success, and they have to check how much we paid for how much we can do more of this. That's capitalism. But it looks for me that in reality, as you see with Lionsgate makes only losses, and say, oh, we're on a good track. A lot of studios, Warner Brothers, losses, but we're on a good track. You know, is it really capitalism what rules the film industry, or is it maybe
seems
total bullshit? What like just that personal like connections leading
yeah.
to money, and somebody pays the bills basically, and that's maybe the
It's
stockholders or
it's
whatever.
inefficiency. It's you're right. It's people who they want to make a certain type of film and they try to like contort and twist the reasons why. But in reality, I think that they need to go with uh, more take more risk
Yes,
and take more attention at what's performing better. It doesn't seem like, I don't know if it's due to automation or if it's due to the fact that it's your name. Because a lot of people think Uwe Ball, they suddenly think, oh my God, terrible director, blah, blah, blah. And they just it's kind of like a pun, but they don't actually pay attention to what they're saying because they don't care enough. People just, that's just the society that we live in, where they just blow it off and they don't take the time to actually watch the films. And I think that's a shame. that it gets caught in the interim. And people who are watching it and catching it on Paramount Plus, they don't know who the fuck you are. I've seen some people talk about this movie from demographics that you wouldn't even expect. Like people who like rap music seem to really like the movie. Um,
Yeah, I got also like from law enforcement, from police people, they say best cop thing from New York since French Connection, blah, blah, blah. And interesting was that one guy in a magazine, he wrote a review, and of course he knew who I was. And he said, oh, Uwe Boll, I hate him, blah, 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 but I want to watch more of this. So, and you know, that's the thing. It's like this kind of, they cannot jump over their shadow to like, don't like me, even if they like a product. You know, that's the thing. It's like, how can you dislike Darfur or say Salt on Wall Street was a bad movie? You just cannot do this, right? So, and then it was always, oh, by accident, he made a good movie, whatever. But I made by accident maybe 10 good movies. Nobody says Tunnel Rats is a shitty movie. You know, like this kind of, there's just too many good movies made by me, Heart of America, whatever. And they all get completely overlooked based on Alone in the Dark or whatever, right? So, and it's like,
it's
how
because Alone in the Dark and House,
what?
they had a lot of whatever advertising. They had a much higher advertising than the smaller films, so that's what they're going to remember.
Yeah, I know, but still, if you're a film reviewer or film critic, I'm not talking about the average Joe just clicking a button. I talk about people that really like know what I did and go on IMDb and check what I did. They should also kind of like at one point say, now the guy made actually in total more good movies as bad movies, and we just have to get over it. You know, so that's my problem with it. But look, there is a substantial, when you see the news about the film industry, they're all like kind of getting desperate. They're all like the jobs going downhill, the financing in the market goes downhill, and a lot of people are kind of like, wow, fuck, we digged our own grave. As you see, Technicolor went bankrupt last week. I mean,
Did they?
yeah, they went bankrupt. Everybody's fired. So,
Whoa,
and I mean,
shit.
Technicolor was the film industry, right? So it's like one of the iconic names, not because of the
Yes.
labs only, also because of
For
the,
film printing,
yeah,
exactly.
yes, and they did CGI and all kinds of stuff. They had thousands and thousands of people working for them, and they finally folded. And that's the thing. It's like we're living there in a not only political as we see every day, but also like in the film industry is a huge revolution going on. And I think a lot of that outlets, they focus on the wrong part of the revolution. They see AI as a threat. They, you know, like stuff like this for jobs, you know, but what they don't see is the real revolution is that the independent film industry is dead. Like it doesn't exist, because what you can do is you desperately try to make a movie. So you desperately try to get cast. Now cast has all the offers for TV series on the table. They can say, look, why, like Stallone, why I should do something else if I get totally paid for Tulsa King? Tulsa King is a good show. I get millions per episode. And why I should do then another $10 million shit movie where I, you know, so that is what dying now. The Emmett Fuller movies, the movies we hated also, where they just paid Travolta a million, Mel Gibson a million. All of this is dissolving right now because
I miss those movies. I miss that shit. I hate
yeah,
to say
but
it.
most of that movies were bad, right? So they were good
But
at the
they're fun
beginning.
to watch, you know? Like even the bad Travolta movies, like The Gentleman or whatever he made, like some and Gotti. They were shitty movies, but I enjoyed them. I know that's ridiculous to
No,
say,
I
but
hated
whatever.
God. I hated.
I
I hated
laughed.
it.
I had a lot of fun laughing. It was awful, but it was funny.
Yeah. So, but let's go further back with there were a lot of independent movies, of course. They were very, very good, right? So, and but how you can refinance or get investors together, whatever, and make a movie like this in today's time. You have to put in theatrical revenue will be zero, DVD, Blu-ray will be zero. So now everything is on stream. So now that is what I meant with YouTube or other stuff, is the only way to not fall into this, oh, Netflix gives me $100,000 for my $4 million film. and then Netflix is showing it for a year. You know, like, so if you don't want to fall in this to lose all your money, then the only chance is actually this AVOD, like this kind of, you put it up there on YouTube, on Prime, wherever, and it's advertising driven. Nobody has to pay for the movie, but if they, per click you get your 10 cents, per click you get your 8 cents, and then the marketing strategy has to be how I advertise that films that they all click it on, right? So you need a marketing strategy with little TikTok, Instagram, short movies. You need maybe influencers that push you forward. You need totally different connections who can make, you know, there are influencers, they have 50 million views. So if they join forces and say, here's a little quick a clip from Run, it's only on YouTube, watch it right now, but you have 10 million views, that's 100 grand right there, right?
It's
So
tapping into that market. It's hard. You got to have it into that market, and that's the younger generation. It's hard. Like I'm slightly younger than you, but not that young that I have an into that. I've tried
yeah,
and failed.
yeah, you don't know. Like for example, my like Walter, the
Yeah,
I mean he's
he's
10.
the right gener. He's almost there. He's almost there. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what he's watching? I mean, he watches YouTube the whole day and all that short videos, whatever. But all his classmates, 10 years old, listen to Kanye West right now. To this doop doop doop, this stupid. He has like stupid sounds out there in the not the swastika stuff, not the Nazi bullshit. I mean, we for us, Kanye West is done, right? So he's
Yeah,
like
he sucks. He sucks, man. Fuck Kanye.
mental ill, puts his girlfriend naked on the red carpet. He for me, he's completely done. But all of this doesn't matter for the young generation. And
Yeah.
when you hear the song, what he put out, like he put a totally absurd song, goes poop, 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 right? If you hear that song, you think, what the fuck? But they love it. They love it. And there are 100 millions of people listen to this song. It's unbelievable. That's the fact. So we don't reach the masses who could just click on Run, right? So, and I think the key marketing idea has to be that no matter what the film is, you have to make the marketing in a way that you connect to everybody clicking on the button. I want to watch it right now. So absurd it is, because if they switch the movie off after 5 or 10 minutes, you still made your 10 cents. You know,
Well, dude,
they need
think
only to
about those
watch a
those
few minutes.
think about those marketing strategies in the 80s or the 90s for those movies where it was like you've got to go Monday, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
Tuesday, and they would have a commercial every Wednesday and then
yeah.
countdown to Friday, and then Friday be like movies out, and then everybody would be there. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be some kind of an advertising campaign that really that people could remember, that people get through to people. The problem is that fucking costs a lot of money. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
no, that's the thing. But of course, the TV spots were way more expensive as to push something in the internet. But what the only way that it works is that people retweeting it, reposting it. That's the only
Yes.
way it works, right? Because I don't think that my son was ever on Kanye West's side. He watches this because other people posting it.
Because
And
they want to fit in, and that's why you're not popular, is because everybody wants to fit in. And if everybody thinks you're not cool, then everybody else is going to think you're not cool too. So that's the problem, is that we have to make you cool. And I've been trying to help,
but it
you
has
know,
not to be
show.
me. No, it has not to be me. It's just forget my name at all. Like, let's try to
They're
get.
your movies though, and your
Yeah,
name is connected to them.
exactly. I don't care if people know Run is from me or here later The Dark Knight is from me. I don't care. I care then about the film. We have to make the film interesting, and there has to be like mini clips going out that they are worth to get retweeted. And I mean, so
Okay.
absurd it is, but we
Okay.
don't need any informations about me in it. And we also
Okay. So how about this? How about this? Listen to this. So the stuff that's going on right now in American culture, um, the movie with Army Hammer right now, that would play very well to the kind of people who went to see Sound of Freedom. Just like I said in our discussions privately, is like we've got to just invest a little bit of money in some spots, creating an advertising campaign for online, some spots that we could put on, X and Facebook, try to get them approved and try to gear them towards the people who would look at that stuff, just like the Angel Studios, and just see what kind of impact it has. Just put like $2,000 towards it.
You know,
Just start with $2,000.
yeah, but you know what the problem with Angel Studios is? They don't do swearing and they don't want nudity, and both is in my film.
But it doesn't have to be in the commercial.
No, it doesn't have to be in a commercial. But if the goal is Angel Studios sign the film and distribute it, then that will never work, right? Then they watch the film and say we cannot distribute that.
Oh no, well, I'm not expecting Angel Films to distribute it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to get attention towards the film, I think it would already need distribution. The problem is we would have to pay for that. We would have to the distributor that we would get would not pay for that kind of advertising. That's the problem. Just like the person who picked up First Shift, they didn't invest in that much advertising. You know what I mean?
I
So
agree.
so it's
I
all
see
on us, really.
what we should do is this. What we should do is this. When Dark Knight is cut, I will send you a hidden link, and then we both discussing what because they have to be short. They have to be 15 to 20 seconds max clips. Then we have to think out of the box and forget. We don't want to tell the story of the film in the clips. We want to make clips out of that film where people
that are exciting,
and say
bring somebody in,
that we want to watch.
And
right?
wow, that's fucking awesome.
Yes.
I want to see that. Wow, important. That kind of powerful. I get it.
And then what we can do, because this context you have, I have it too. We go to all these outlets who always talked about me, Joe Blow, bloodydisgusting.com, everything what is still existing from this kind of websites, and gives them the clips too, so they can load them up too, right? And then they can flip out about it and hate it, whatever, doesn't matter. But what they 100% will do is they will put that clips out, and they will maybe say, "Oh, Uwe Boll, the next piece of shit," but it doesn't matter. If we get the exposure, the talk will start, and that is the thing what we have to create, and we have to create it clever. And we have to basically we have to enlight the fire, that people say, okay, now we want to see it. So, and then comes the major decision is then, because we can load up stuff like Michael Rush, my partner on it, we can load up stuff everywhere right now. Like I can put any movie on Prime, any movie on Apple, any movie on Google, any movie on YouTube. It can happen right now. So, and then we really have to think about it. Look, do we skip that bullshit and just do it ourselves and hope for the best? Or are we now begging somebody to give me 100 grand for the film? Because that's bullshit. Because what always happens is if you get a distribution guarantee, they keep all the revenues and then they add on all their costs and they spend the money wisely. That means if they give me 100, the movie has to make 300 before I get one more dollar. And the question is it not better to just put it up everywhere? Because with First Shift, give you another example. I gave various interviews around the world, Russia, Indonesia, about First Shift. And they all watched the film already, but it was never sold there. So that means as soon the film is out in the US, they all have it because it's illegal then, right? They don't care. In Indonesia, Thailand, India, they all pirate the shit. But if you would have it at the same day loaded up on YouTube, they will watch it on YouTube and they don't have to pay for it. But we at least getting 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents per view.
Dude, I honestly think that if you're not going to get a bigger deal with Netflix or Paramount Plus again, or et cetera, that isn't even a bigger deal. I think that you might make more money going directly on Amazon and YouTube, because I think that I think without the cut that we would give the distributor, I mean, I don't see the numbers in front of me, but the amount of money that we could spend on advertising, work on it in-house here, like I would be committed to help, do this. I would need to be paid a little bit too, obviously, but I think overall it would be less. because I assume that their cut is very large. And Amazon, you know what I mean? Having to split that cut with them as well. That's what you were doing, right?
No, Amazon and YouTube, they getting money, they keep money, right? It's of
No, but I
course.
mean with the distributor that you were whatever, like
No, but that's the thing. It's like, let's say you give the movie to a distributor, right? In the
yeah.
very end, whatever comes in from Amazon, they keep 30%, 25, 30% for
Yes, exactly. That's what I was
themselves.
saying is that well, that's something we don't need. They're taking 30%.
Yeah.
No, no way.
Yes, that is what I mean. And I think now I have various territories available for first shift. I have the world available for Run. I have the world available for Dark Knight.
Let's
That's
take it in
already
our
a
own hands.
pipeline with some films what could amalgamate revenues, and they could, you put the little Dark Knight clip at the end of Run, in front of Run, you just can put it together that it's screaming in one shot, right? So that's the thing, you can start advertising all kinds of stuff, because with First Shift One, I know half of the world will never give me $1 for first shift now, because it's illegal pirated online there already for a long time now, for 4 months. So, that's the thing. And the only way to not have that happen is to put it up there. But if you
Yeah.
put it up for $6.99, nobody buys it. So you have to put it up against, they have to watch some clips and then watch it for free, right? So that's the only way to make money. And
Like you mean like well, they have that first 15 minutes for free thing. What about that? No?
no, that I mean, that's the, what my problem with this is this. As soon you put it up, normally every distributor would say, first you put it up on Amazon and you charge, right? So,
Yeah.
and Apple, $5.99, $6.99, whatever, you put it up for pay. But the problem is the piracy with the rest of the world. The problem is that, of course, somebody buys it for $6.99, but now he loads it up in China, and
Yeah.
a billion people can watch it for free. And
And once it's on that thing, it's on there forever. You can't
yes,
take it off.
but you know how many times you did it, I did it, where we flagged things on YouTube, illegal link, illegal link, illegal link. But the reality is, if we're the first, and it's myself in 2K in good quality, the market is breaking apart for all these illegal copy guys, because it brings nothing. They can watch it right at the source, right? So, and for free. So
Yeah.
it's
It's
what I'm.
convenience. It's convenience.
Yes, and when I have comparable numbers, like when as an example, my Banditos documentary, the biker gang thing, they put it up in Germany against money on Amazon, and they put it up on DVD and Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray was okay for the first week, then the sales collapsed. Then the $6.99, $9.99, it collapsed. It was not good. And then it came on Prime, and it made shitloads of money, because the people were not willing to pay a lot of money for the doku, but they were all willing to watch it. Millions of people watched it, and that made a lot of money, right? So, and that made me feel like, if I can make 35,000 euro out of a doku only in Germany on Prime, why I cannot make 2 million bucks out of the Dark Knight with Army Hammer worldwide? Right? I mean, that
Yeah.
I mean, the comparison is, you have here a top star in an action movie, what everybody worldwide will be interested in, or you have
Everybody's going to be watching. Everybody's going to be watching this movie. A lot of people who like Batman and stuff are keeping an eye on this film just because he was up to play Batman once, even if they're not interested in this topic, even if they're not interested in any of this. People are going to watch this film. It's going to get a lot of numbers, so we should be prepared.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, but I will discuss that with Roche, because he can do the technical load up, right? And then we have to think like, but the thing is, it brings nothing to do the campaign far away from the release. It has to be basically the clip starting, and you can click it on and watch it. So you do the internet campaign at the same day where you load the whole film up. And then, because look, it costs nothing to load it up. It can also be after 2 weeks on the peak. It doesn't have to start on number one. Nobody gives a shit, right? But I think, if in TikTok and so on, if you see the video, like the little clip we create,
Yes.
And you want to watch the film. We need the button, watch it now, at the end of every little clip going out there. But then you have something, because it's
Yeah.
that direct decision. What the fuck is that? Click. Right. So now
Yeah.
they watch it after a few minutes. We have our 10 cents in the bag. And then if they switch it off after a few minutes, too bad. But maybe because, I mean, especially Dark Knight, I can tell you there's a lot of violence, a lot of action. So people will maybe be glued to the screen and watch the whole thing. So,
And I think there's ways to edit it so we don't show those brutal. I saw some of
yeah,
the
yeah,
effects, and
yeah.
I think there's ways that we can show just the action. Do you know what
Well,
I mean?
yes.
Like,
The clips have to be approved for everybody, right? So
yeah,
the little clips need to be like not flagged anywhere. The movie will be like R-rated, right? So that's the thing. It will be like scheduled as R-rated, but the clips can be more like interesting cut, like that you want to know what it is, and before the violence breaks out, it's over with the little clip. The lead up to things, the tension. So that's the
yes, the tension, exactly. Yes,
yeah, that's the idea. And I mean that's the thing. We can put other subtitles, like whatever, like, and even another narrator line over it, like so. And yeah, let's settle on, I think we were 2 months away from that movie's finished, and then moving forward with it, because with the Dark Knight, that's something like also kids are more excited about. Run is a really sophisticated melodrama with action in the end, but overall, it's a real drama. It's a real good movie. And that would need a distributor who gets the reviewers watching it, who gets a kind of an art house crowd together. That would be something for the Lambless theaters and so on, So, and I don't give up to find that distributor. That's the reason we're still working on it and didn't load it up. But if we don't find one, then maybe we switch it then, that we do the Dark Knight first and Run after. If you have the people hooked and think, oh, that's guy, this is good movie, then maybe they watch Run too. So
yeah. Mix up the slate. Sometimes the studios do that. If it makes more financial or logical sense to switch them around, just do it.
yeah. No, yeah, okay. So on the politics side, everything moves forward. Let's see what's happening with Putin. Right now, Trump looks very stupid in a way, because right now everybody who said Putin is not interested in making peace, um, so the pressure is on Trump, and
I
maybe
think Trump is fucking totally corrupt, man. I'm just gonna say that, like, it looks to me like what's out in the open is just him. It's all just games and lies. Just like I said, he's a liar, and he's creating this facade, and it's a very thin facade. I think that him and Putin are in cahoots. I think Putin has some sort of thing on Trump, and they have some sort of agreement. And I think that if Trump steps on Putin's toes a little bit too much, that Putin will retaliate whatever he has against Trump. And I really think that calendar that I referred to of the Russian soldiers protecting, there was a Russian calendar that to motivate their military that was sent out with pictures of the Russian military guarding the White House. That's like a precursor for current events. Like, he wants to improve U.S. Russian relations. But what is happening is, um, I think we're being overtaken by Russia from the inside out. I think it's hollowing us
I
out.
know, I
I
know
think
that
that
I know that that's your strategy, your idea.
well, no, like Putin would laugh at the Americans shooting themselves in the foot. If he had governance over one person in power to be able to influence the other people to kind of weaken their government from the inside, which is something he's never been able to do, if he would relish in that fact, let's just say hypothetically. So it could be, it could not be, but it is a fear of mine, considering that Trump is downsizing the government and it is hurting our economy and it is hurting a lot of things over here. It is destabilizing a lot of things like the education department, et cetera. And those always were my The biggest concerns were problems within our country and how Trump is going to affect our. So I'm not even gonna. I won't even. I don't want to fight over the Putin thing, but I do believe. I do believe that he is compromised, and I do believe that Trump is harming our country, and there's nobody to say no to him. Uh, all these people are going to be without a job. What, who the fuck is, where are they going to go? Where are they going to get jobs? And then the education department. Okay. So now everybody has to get a loan that's private now. It's just like a credit card. APR is going to be like 30%. You know what I mean? What happens to the Pell Grant? What happens to food stamps, SNAP assistance for the homeless, for people who are low income? There's a lot of stuff that's going to be affected here. They're trying to downsize. They're trying to monetize. I predicted it. Monetize everything. Monetize all social services, and there are people who just can't afford that. You bring it down to the states. We bring education to the states. What's going to happen? All those people who are low income, who happen to be black or brown, are not going to be able to afford an adequate education. And that's my problem, is that it's all kind of like, yeah, there's problems at the border, but a lot of the stuff that's going to affect the states and education is rooted, I feel, almost in like a racist demeanor. Like, let's have these poor people who we don't want to see and sweep them under the rug and don't give them an opportunity to make their way out of it. This is the stuff that, make their way out of poverty. And this is the stuff that I see, is that the lines of between poverty and the rich are getting larger,
No,
and
no,
I don't know if it
I
can be
agree with
reversed.
you that it will get harder to climb up any social ladder. That 100%. But I look. I'm in a way that was interesting at Bill Mayer on the weekend. He had like a more Republican woman there and a more Democratic guy in the discussion. And I think both sides are they need to see the point of the other point. Yes, there is government overspending. Yes, there is bureaucracy, what is bullshit. And yes, there is a lot of fraud in the government. They created a massive monster of bureaucracy and government where nobody, and I think it's very important to question things like how many people work at the CIA, for what? How much money we spend on defense, for what? How much money we spend on US aid, and for what is it? But
Well, the U.S. aid is for other countries. It's for stabilization of countries who can't um, support themselves,
but look,
war torn.
I know, but the US aid was also used by the CIA for destabilization of other countries, for example. And they have a lot of programs where you see, okay, they're getting 100 million and 5 million ending up against Ebola people, and 95% ending up in the pockets of the people that work at the NGO, and they're getting salaries. And these are not Africans, these are American people. They pocket the money because they
Oh,
say we do something positive in Africa about it. That's true.
so you're saying
There's
there's
a lot of
corruption.
corruption.
There's corruption in there, and I can totally uh, agree with that. But does it have to be a chainsaw and rather than a
Yes,
scalpel?
that
Like
is
the
what I mean.
chainsaw is shutting the whole agency, right?
Yes, that is what I mean. What they doing, and I mean Elon Musk explained that it's like they cut everything to zero and then they start rehiring people. But the reality is, it's not Tesla, it's the United States of America. And if you cut funding and then a half a year later you try to reach somebody in Senegal, these people are gone. Like you're not like because the program was dismantled, the huts burned down, basically it's over. So that's the problem. And I think that is what Elon Musk doesn't get, is that there are some stuff, it's better you look deep into it before you make any cuts, and you are not like just assuming everybody is a fucking taker and you cut everything away. That's my problem with it too. And I think that, but that shows the whole absurdity of our life right now, our political thing. Look at Germany. We have that new guy who will be chancellor, and because he could build only a coalition with the Social Democrats, who were the government right now, he basically agreed to 1 trillion more in debt. So, and it's like before the government, like 2 weeks ago, before the election, 3 weeks before the election, he said in every fucking interview he gave, If he is elected, there will be no debt. There will be no overspending. And now he proposes, and he wants to bring it to the parliament right now as we speak, because he had to do the coalition with the Social Democrats who are always spending. So he bent over. Basically, they told him like, oh, you want to rule with us? Okay, good. But then we give free 500 billion for infrastructure, 400 billion for military, 100 billion for climate protection, and so that the Green Party is also happy. And he did it. He agreed to it. And I actually don't have a problem with going in debt. Every country goes in debt nonstop. But I have the biggest problem. It's the lying to the people. Like, say it before. You cannot say, with me, there will be no dollar in debt. And then like, oh, it's $1 trillion. Who gives a fuck? 2 weeks later. That makes this guy, for me, a no-go. Like, fuck that asshole. And that it's absolutely ridiculous. Then I'm more sympathetic for the Greens, who said the whole time, we have to go in debt and we have to protect the climate or the whole world goes under. It's at least a clear statement. You know what you vote for, and if you think climate change is the biggest problem on earth, then absolutely you need to vote for this. But what that guy pulled is unseen. He said, if I'm chancellor, I close the border the next day. First day, I'm saying, I close the border, no more migration. Now, nah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We need migration. It's all good. So, and
What is that? Is that really?
yeah, absolutely. And so, but it's so
See, that's the switcheroo. That's bullshit.
absurd.
That's the snake oil. That's nonsense. And that's yeah, that's not having a moral compass. You say whatever you can to get elected, and then once you're there, you do whatever you want because you have no recourse from the people. Like that's bullshit. You
Yes,
know?
because what he goes for is in 4 years from now on at the next election, everybody forgot everything, and then you start talking the same bullshit again. That what you do if you get again voted for, and I think that's the thing where
It's
where
like a Trump.
where I shut off, and that's the thing. But that is something you cannot blame Trump. Trump did what he said, right? So he's not like turning 180. He got elected. I think with the tariffs, he's wrong. And but you know what you.
Well, look
It's
at
not like,
some of the migrants he went to Guantanamo have been taken out of Guantanamo. I heard that they wasted like $18 million on that. So it's not entirely efficient because they're just making all these decisions suddenly without any plan, like boom. And then they have to reverse them, and then the money it takes to reverse them. When they fly them out of the country, I think some of the other countries are paying half the bill, but it's a big mess here. It's a big fucking mess.
no, I know. It's like, and we don't know if we're going in a full-on worldwide recession. We don't know
Oh,
if
I think we will, dude. But anyway,
right now it looks like this. But on the other hand, it's also like you also cannot keep spending. And in the end, there where Elon Musk did a very good point. He said, we're having a $900 billion per year. We pay an interest on the debt, more as the defense budget. And he said, if we continue that way, it's like mathematics, we go bankrupt. So he said the idea to reduce the debt, to have less interest to pay for the debt, is a good one. The question is only with what, right? So,
well, he's doing it with like automated systems, like, and then people will be out of jobs. So it has kind of a cycle effect. Like, I don't think that they've really done the research to see what kind of effect that amount of people who have specialized degrees suddenly losing their jobs would have on the market. Everybody is taught that if you have a specialized degree, that you will have this guaranteed job security. And I think that there won't be enough of these jobs out there. There'll be a lot of IT, like mid and lower paying jobs, but anything higher paying, these people are going to be out of work for an extended period of time. They're used to they have certain degrees of living that they have to maintain, mortgages, families. They weren't anticipating this. And a lot of times when you take government work, it's kind of put on a platter to you as a lifer. Like, this is a stable position. And if you perform you'll be taken care of adequately. So a lot of people suddenly being placed in this position, a lot of them at once, is going to make it harder for the people trying to get jobs for the first time, because they're going to only the people who are employers are all going to go with the people with experience. So it's going to have an effect on the economy from the bottom up. And I think it's just going to it's going to save the government money, but the people are going to suffer. And the people are still going to have the same needs. So the companies will still be making money, but the people will just be pocketing, living more poor and living in cycles where they can't escape. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've
No, no,
seen it, man.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And that's true. Like everybody who you throw out of a government job and doesn't get another one will still live on the government money, because then they go to social welfare and food stamps and all this stuff, right? If they don't getting a replacement job somewhere. So then the government will still keep spending money on them, but they don't work anymore. They're just sitting at home. And that's also shit. And I mean, it's like we will see how it unfolds. I think for today we talked enough. So
Yeah, no, it's been a great episode. I think it's been wonderful, and I want you to know that I sent an application for me to speak at Dragon Con to talk about some of your films and some of the work we do on the show, and some of the stuff that uh, what is it, the Dark Knight, uh, hopefully the Bear film. I don't know, just to try and help promote. You know what I mean?
absolutely, I'm whatever link you have, if they tape it, whatever, I post it also everywhere, and we continue our struggle. Okay.
So yes, everybody, please send this show everywhere, repost it, and watch our movies, the Uwe Boll movies. Pay for them, don't pirate them, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Bye. Bye.